Suicide mission.
On a, what did I call it? The mission, which was in other words, it was an ill-fated mission. Fighters got us, hit us. Now, it was my 10th mission, their 15th mission. We got shot up by the fighters. 2 of my waist gunners jumped out before the emergency alarm went off, because I was the only one that could punch it when I knew it had to be for everybody to bail out. But it wasn't that bad at that time. So we went on and went through about the half the mission. Just as we started to drop our bombs, the plane broke in half. 155 millimeter, took both of the wings off on the left bank, and she nosedived and broke in half, and down she went. Everybody in the front was burnt to death. My pilot was burnt beyond recognition. Leon Robinson, Zalco, was dead. The 2 new people that were flying with us when we had to leave our crew home,
what do you do with all your
they died.
What do you do with all your boxes? You have to give them back or something?
Then we,
Oh, you did? That's what I'm...
when it exploded, throwed me in the back of the plane, in the tail.
Put these pictures in, they were down.
I hit my head and wounded my head and my nose. I had to work my way in the tail itself. Nothing but the tail. I've been trying to find it. I have the tail, which is a brand new plane that came from Boeing Aircraft 2 days before. Never had not one speck of paint on it. Had never been on a mission or nothing. We were guinea pigs is what we were. And it broke in half.
How high were y'all?
22,000 feet. We had just dropped part of the bombs when the plane broke in half. I guess you've seen in Stalag XVII, in Memphis Belle, where how the planes broke apart and everything. So I was able to get up, and the first thing I heard when I came to, which wasn't very long, I heard my mother hollering at me. Mama prayed the whole time. Me, Cleve, and Marion were in the service overseas at the same time. And she prayed all the time, went to church every morning. But I definitely heard her mention my name. June. June. She said that twice. I'll never forget it. Some people say that I'm not, you know, that it's, yeah, I'm making it up, but I'm not. I told Mama when I got out of POW, that's the first 2 words I heard her say. June, June. Come to find out, on that day in March, first part of March, or February, last of February, that the plane, when we all had to bail out. 2 of my waist gunners bailed out before their time. They got out, they stayed loose for 2 weeks apiece by landing in another place. And by the time I got out, the plane was just the tail was doing this.
You want to drink a little water?
Round and round. Just the tail section. I wished I could find it. I know it's in my pictures, but I can't find it.
How high do you think you were when you actually parachuted? Got out?
Parachuted at about 22,000 feet. I had my oxygen mask tied to my leg. You can't live at 22,000 feet. You can't live at 15,000 feet altitude without oxygen. So by having my bottle, which I was the one that had to wear it because I had to walk all over the plane. So I had it on my leg, and it stayed on my leg until I hit the tree, but it was on this elastic. It was doing this. It was about to break off. But I was lucky. It didn't tear apart. And by the time I got down to where I could breathe normal, regular oxygen, because you can't, you get the bends, you go crazy, you die within 1 minute without oxygen.
Tell them about the 2 men leaving before you, and you and the fellow, when the plane broke up, how you had to bail out. You and him, the 2 of you bailed out together.
Yeah, me and, well, it pulled the Smeris out. When the plane broke in half, we were both in the tail section. We were trying to get the ball turret gunner out. What is this?
Little water.
McClure was in the ball turret. He can't get out when he don't have electricity.
So he died.
So we were trying to crank him up, and we didn't make it. Yes, he died. He was 14 foot underground in the ball turret when they took one of the waist gunners that had jumped out early. They had captured them. They took them to the place where the plane was. Germans took a picture, and Abbott was able to get the pictures after the war.
Showing the crash.
And I have it, but I can't find it. I have to go through some more stuff.
He tells the story of the 2 waist gunners, the right and the left. They jumped out before they heard the bell. And then after that...
They heard the bell. The emergency went on.
The pilot, co-pilot, the navigator, and the bombardier, they were all killed because they couldn't get out. So Dallas and this other fellow, what was his name? When the plane broke up...
The Smeris, the radio operator.
They were the only 4.
We landed within,
out of 10 people.
as far as from here to Dale's house, from one another.
Okay, let's talk about that. When you knew you was going to hit, or when you hit the ground.
All right?
When your parachute hit the ground, what were you thinking?
I was in a tree.
Okay.
15 foot, about as high as that tree right there, from the ground. We had the English type chutes that hooked this way. And when you pull your ripcord, it goes above your head and stays above your head and keeps you straight. So what happened, after all that happened, I was able